Welcome to Making Money with Laura Sanders, a name you can trust. With over 20 years of real estate experience and selling over 150 homes a year, Laura Sanders is the #1 RE/MAX agent in the state of Florida for 2021. Join us each week as we discuss how to make money through buying and flipping homes to renting versus selling and everything in between. To join the conversation, call in live 888-994-4995, Studio A.
Hi, and welcome to Making Money with Laura Sanders, and I am your host, Laura Sanders. Today, we're going to talk about mental health and how that affects making money. Kind of a crazy topic, but it's a topic that we need to talk about. Also, some of you might not know, but I am a licensed mental health counselor, and today we're going to have another licensed mental health counselor. Her name is Rocio Morris. She's going to talk to us today about how mental health affects us in the workplace and also talk about bullying in the workplace. And it does happen. And who does it happen to? And how does it affect you making money? How does that affect you and your money? So let's welcome Rocio Morris, LMHC. She is one of our local therapists, and she's looking for some people to help. Did we lose Rocio? Oh, there she is. So she's calling in. Hi, how are you? Welcome to Making Money with Laura. And I know we're kind of throwing an off topic today, but I think that mental health does affect our ability to make money.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. And it's, well, good to see you, first of all. Absolutely it affects, how, when, where we make money. And so mental health is definitely an important topic in regard to the workplace and how it affects each individual on their journey towards, making money or progressing in the workplace, building their future. And so I definitely think it's an important topic, regardless if it's out there or maybe not in line with what, we usually talk about, but it's definitely important. So it's definitely funny that when we first started talking about this topic or brought this up, I was, thinking, I'm like, I definitely know that bullying occurs in the workplace. I've seen it. I may not have experienced it like full force myself, but I've definitely seen it happen full force, and I've experienced the aftermath of it in a lot of ways. And so I've also seen how it affects my coworkers and their ability to do their job, and their desire to come to work. So we'll talk a little bit about that too. But when you first brought it up, I thought, I know it happens, but how often does it really happen? I'm not an expert in bullying per se, but I'm an expert in treating those that are affected with bullying, right? So I'm not doing the research on bullying in the US on a daily basis, but I'm definitely helping those that are affected by it on a daily basis. So I had to do my research specifically on bullying in the US, and I found that 4 out of 10 employees suffer from bullying in the workplace. That's 79.3 million people in the US.
That's actually a high percentage. Obviously we hear about in schools, kids being bullied. Yeah. That's very high. And, they say it's not going to be tolerated. I'm not too sure about that. But, I think that people really don't put the focus on being bullied in the workplace. And, I have to say that sometimes people bully other people because they're jealous of them. Maybe they think that they do their job so well and that they are jealous that they're not doing as well, so they pick on those people. That happens sometimes. And I think that people don't realize how human people really are and how easy it is to hurt people. And I guess for me, I just don't understand why people would be like that. Why people would pick on other people. And to me, I think that this kind of stuff really needs to stop so people can make their money do well at their job, want to go to work, want to make money. It's not that they don't, but if somebody's treating you disrespectfully, why would you want to go to work to make money? So I just thought, mental health is a big thing that I think is really coming to a head right now, and people are focusing more on mental health where they never did before.
Absolutely. And I think obviously you make great points, and especially in regard to why would somebody do that? Why does bullying occur? And there's many reasons that is behind, maybe the desire to bully, or the goal of bullying, right? So I can't tell you exactly a reason. I can say that there are multiple reasons, but I will say that there has been many studies that children starting at a young age, if they are bullying at a young age, it ends up perpetuating later on in their lives that they experience inattention and depression. And so I can say that that could be one of the reasons that people feel that they need to continue bullying, whether it's for attention, or whether it's for a power move, or whether it's for, whatever mental health experience or issues that they're struggling with themselves, and they're choosing that as an outlet, which is obviously not a healthy outlet, nor is it fair to those that are bystanders, or victims of the bullying. So I can't tell you exactly what the reason would be behind it. You mentioned jealousy. You mentioned, which I think goes along the lines with the amount of pressure that maybe people experience at work. So I will say that workplace bullying is considered a second leading cause of stress in the workplace. And so that is sad in itself, to think that bullying is occurring so much that it's the second leading cause. So it's happening, it's out there. And so we're not alone in seeing what the bullying that's going on in our workplace, or experienced it, or anything along those lines. So yeah, I definitely think that we need to do a better job at whether it's creating more of an outreach as to how to manage this happening in the workplace, or having the conversation in the workplace. I don't know, in regard to how much conversation happens in your work environment in regard to bullying. Obviously, I'm in the mental health field, so and I know that you are also in the LMHC, so you know about that world. So we talk about it a lot, and I work with clients that are struggling with it. I just had a client. My last client of the day today was mainly focused on bullying. So it's definitely something that's prevalent, and I don't know how much conversation is happening in the adult world.
So the bullying that you're seeing, or any of the research that you've done on this, is it the boss that's bullying the employee? Or is it other employees bullying another employee? Like, what, in your research, what has shown more prevalent of that?
So actually, the top leading bulliers still continues to be the head honchos, the bosses, the top people. So that in itself is very sad to think about, because we think, and we would hope, that from the top to the bottom, they're leading by example, and that's not exactly what's happening. Now, I will say it's happening, aside from that as well. That just happens to, from research, it happens to still be the leading group, are the bosses, and I've
Well, let
seen
me
that.
ask you though, for being like, I'm an employee, sort of, kind of. I'm also a boss, sort of, kind of, right? But is it construed as being bullying when you're just asking someone to do their job?
Right. Right.
I mean, think about it. Like, people are asking you to do their job, and then they don't follow through with what their job is, and then there's consequences. So in that respect, I think that can be misconstrued. And then I think, in fact, then it could be that the employees turn on the boss for wanting
Mhm.
the job to be done.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I absolutely. And I do think that a lot of it is obviously approach and, what is being said, or what the policy is, like I think that that policy needs to be clearly communicated, because if let's say, a boss comes and they're doing their job, maybe the person that's supposed to do something didn't do their job, and so they come and there's consequences, like you said. And if it was all established ahead of time, and that conversation was had, and the expectations were clear, and that person still didn't do the job, then yeah, there's consequences. And that's not what we're talking about when we're talking about bullying, right? Like, bullying is, by definition, the mistreatment of an employee, whether it's abusive conduct, such as threatening, humiliating, intimidating, sabotage, or verbal abuse. So, in that example that you gave me, none of that sounded like, bullying to me. So, I
Now
also think
wait, but
that,
wait a minute. Now I get called oftentimes that I'm very intimidating. Like people
okay.
say that I'm intimidating, and I kind of laugh at that because I'll be the nicest person to do anything for you, but I will ask for you to do your job. And when
Yeah.
it's not done, and I ask the question, why didn't this happen, or why wasn't this done? Again, ultimately, like, the goal of this whole conversation is to
Right.
help people understand how we can create happiness in the work environment for everyone, so that we can get people to better perform, so that they can
Right.
make money for themselves, or
Right.
obviously company money, like produce for the company,
Yes.
whatever that company
Yes.
might be, like generalistic, right? But I'm just
Right.
obviously using myself as an example just because, I'm the one stupid enough to talk about this, right? So, you know,
You're not
no,
stupid.
I mean, like, I'll be the first to say that some people find me intimidating, and I kind of laugh. I'm like, really? I'm like, if you find me intimidating and you can't approach me, you've got bigger problems when it comes down to doing your job or moving forward in life for me, because I'm in a sales
Yeah.
position, and you need to be able to not be scared of, like, I'm the least scariest person, I think, personally.
Which,
Are you scared
you
of
know,
me? No.
I'm not scared of you.
So,
Um,
my
yeah.
ultimate goal is to help and to let people know that, that there is help out there. I just feel like we don't talk about this. So,
Yeah. No, it's not. It's definitely not. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh no, you're fine.
Okay. I definitely don't think it's talked about enough. Now, I do feel, like I said, if these expectations and these rules and these policies that are put in place are discussed, and then the employee is not meeting those, then if they're feeling intimidated by a simple conversation, then you're right. That is that's something different that we would
Yeah.
need to talk about, right? Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? That's not what we're talking about when we're talking about bullying. And I do think that this is why conversation about bullying needs to happen, so people know what it actually is.
Right.
And
And we're going to come back and we're going to talk about that in a minute, but we're going to go to commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about bullying and how we can address this, and that there is help out there for everyone that's having issues. So take a look at our sponsors, Max Fish and Title Brothers.
Whether you're buying, selling, refinancing, or building your dream home, you have a lot riding on your loan specialist. Max Fish, a top 1% mortgage loan officer in the nation, will give you a same-day qualifying quote. Max Fish is committed to providing his customers with mortgage services that exceed their expectations. Ensuring that you make the right choice for you and your family is his ultimate goal. Contact Max Fish today at 954-729-6933 or max.fisch@nwmcorp.com. LMHC.net.
At Title Brothers LLC, our mission is to give you the best closing experience anywhere in the country. Founded in 2020 by Adam Lohman and Josh Wiseman, here at Title Brothers, we're your one-stop shop for residential real estate, title insurance, title and escrow services, real estate closing, and due diligence services. While primarily located in South Florida, we also host dozens of closings throughout the state and even electronically as requested. To contact the Title Brothers, call us at 954-995-4988 or visit our website and get a quick quote today.
You have been watching Making Money with Laura. For more information, contact Laura Sanders at 954-650-0827 or visit her website at theloracell.com. And now back to the show.
Hi, welcome back to Making Money with Laura Sanders. I am your host, Laura Sanders. Today, we're talking about mental health. A lot of people don't want to talk about mental health. A lot of people don't want to address the issues with mental health. Mental health is something that is sometimes goes above and beyond the actual thoughts and feelings. It could be chemical. If you've never experienced a chemical imbalance or understand what a chemical imbalance is, that could be part of it. But what we're talking here about is how other people treat other people, especially in the workplace. Work is somewhere you have to go every single day. You need to be able to be at your best, enjoy what you do, because this is something that you have to do 5 days a week, sometimes 6, 7 days a week. It depends on what you do. Like, I'm a realtor, it's 7 days a week. So if the people that surround me aren't treating me well, or they aren't treating you well at your job, that's going to affect you. And in the end, is that what you really want to do? So it might sound weird that I'm talking about this when we talk about making money, but without your mental health and your well-being, you're not going to be able to produce at the level that you deserve to be producing because of the way you're treated, especially in the workplace. Bullying doesn't just happen in school, it happens at work. And I think that we need to address it. And you need to know that there's help out there. And that's why we have Rocio Morris with us today on the show. Welcome back, Rocio. I'm pretty passionate about mental health. I went to school to be a therapist. I am a licensed psychotherapist, just like you are. I worked for a nonprofit organization, so I truly do see the importance for mental health. As you know, my sister died, and I think a lot of it was attributed to mental health and the medications and what have you at a very young age. So yes. I'm very passionate about how people treat other people, and my motto is to do good for others. I mean, I like to do things for other people, just because, not because I'm getting anything for it. And I believe that we should all practice doing good for others. So, like I said, going back to, bullying in the workplace, what would be a good way for people to get a hold of you if they were looking for therapy? Like, they could do online with you? Can they, you'll do telehealth, or...
Absolutely.
And do you take insurance, or how does that all work? If you could tell us a little more on how people could get your help so that they could, even if it's not just bullying, you're just having a hard time and it affects you. Mental health affects you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I will say, I love that you mentioned that even if you don't directly experience it, if you're around it, if you feel the weight from it, if you see others struggling with it, it still affects you. It's kind of like what we call, secondary PTSD, just from, experiencing other people's hurt, pain, tragedies, trauma. We get affected by that as well. So you don't need to wait until something happens to you in order to seek help or talk about something. I also believe that therapy can be a good avenue to talk about how can you be a change, right? Like, how can you help make a change? So I think that therapy can be a good spot to be in when you are thinking about those things and what can you do about it. So obviously, if you are experiencing it, please, like that's what I'm here for. That's what many therapists are working diligently for, is to help with those things. So absolutely, I offer virtual sessions, I offer in-person sessions. And I also have many referrals that I can provide if needed as well. You can find me through my website. You can call me. I'm very, Laura, as you know, like I can definitely relate to you when it's like, I'm pretty much always available. So I'm very open with my information and in regard to contact information. So I'm always like, text me, call me, email me, whatever you need to do to contact me. So you can reach me at reimaginelifecounseling.com. You can call me to my number at 754-205-3756. If you pull up Psychology Today, I'm also on there, but also there's other therapists that might fit your needs as well. I'm also one of these people and therapists that I'm not going to be greedy about, like, give me all the clients. I want it to be the perfect fit. I want it to actually work, and I want it to be beneficial for the client. So however I can help, that's what I'm here for. But I did want to add, I know that, your show is Making Money with Laura. And we talked a little bit about, like, does bullying affect the income of a business? Does it affect the money making process of a business and of a person? And absolutely. So I wanted to share a little bit about the research that I found that I thought was shocking to me. Because this is on a whole nother level. Obviously we're talking a lot about the mental health aspect, but the money aspect, like we've mentioned, is big too. So I found that a bully can cost a single business up to $100,000 per year per victim. And then the cost of so bullies and other types of abusive behaviors cost businesses $300 billion on an annual basis, based on a loss of productivity, the employer being absent, turnover rates, and also, people that are being bullied, 52% of their day is spent doing other things other than working. And that's probably, talking from a mental health aspect, it's probably because they're using it as an escape.
And I bet you most people didn't even realize this. Well, unfortunately, time has run out. That went so quick. And right? Crazy, right? Time has run out. Thank you so much, Rocio, for coming on the show today. We really appreciate it. I know that most of the people listening today didn't even realize how effective, like how this is affecting people mental health wise, right? And that it actually is a thing. It's not just at school. So my end story to you is, first, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, give me a call. I'll help your mental health. I definitely help you work it through. You can call me at 954-650-0827. And always remember, do good for others, because that's what matters in life. And if you do good for others, others will do good for you. Make it a great day. And thank you, Rocio. Thank you for joining us and Making Money with Laura. Have a great night.
Thank you for tuning in for Making Money with Laura Sanders, a name you can trust. To join the conversation, call us at the studio, 888-994-4995 Studio A, or contact Laura directly at 954-650-0827. Laura Sanders, a name you can trust. We look forward to seeing you next week.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those